Cremation of Sam McGee by one of the great poets from the Alaska Gold Rush era, Robert Service. And it goes something like this. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails got their secret tales that make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge when I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. And why he left his home in the south to roam around the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but that land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. Though he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live elsewhere. On a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail, talk of your cold, through the parkas fold that stabbed like a driven nail. For eyes we closed and the lashes froze till sometimes we couldn't see. Wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed and the stars overhead were dancing heel to toe, he turned to me and, "Cap," says he, "I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you don't refuse my last request." Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no, and he said with a sort of moan, "It's the cursed cold, and it's got right hold till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Yet, 'tain't being dead. It's my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains." Well, a pal's last need is a thing to heed, and I swore I would not fail. We started on at the streak of dawn, but man, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched in a sleigh and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. Before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried horror-driven, with the corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, but it seemed to say, "You may tax your brawn and brains, but you promise true, and it's up to you to cremate these last remains." And the long, long night by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring held out their woes to the homeless snows, God, how I loathed that thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavier and heavier grow. Yet on I went, though my dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd oftentimes sing to the hateful thing. And it hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake LaBarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. "Here," said I with a sudden cry, "is my crematorium." Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared, and the furnace roared. Hoo-hoo! Such a blaze you seldom see. Then I burrowed a hole in that glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I took a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. Now the imagination's working. I was sick with dread. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled in grisly fear. But the stars came out and they danced about. Ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, "I'll just take me a peep inside. For I guess he's cooked." And it's time I looked. Then the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar. He wore a smile, you could see a mile. He said, "Oh, please, close that door. For it's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plum Tree back in Tennessee, this is the first time I have been warm." Now there are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails got their secret tales that'd make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge when I cremated Sam McGee.